What's up gamers, Yellow Mustang back again with another Roblox video. Today we're going to be designing an AI that can drive. That is right folks, ever since I released my police AI video about a year ago, you guys have been demanding that I make it drive a police car. So today, hopefully, we can make that happen. So I was looking at the analytics from my last video, and a certain portion of you guys are not subscribed to my channel, and this is kind of serious. We need to talk about this. 100.2% of you guys are not subscribed. This is unacceptable. I need at least one subscriber from this video because this is embarrassing, frankly. I don't know what my subscribers are doing or who all you new people are, but please, the goal for this video is to get one subscriber. So this cannot be 0%. I don't know how this is 100.2%. I mean, something went wrong with the system, but guys, please subscribe today. Thank you. And like the video. So before I start even scripting this AI, I wanted to get a baseline of where the Roblox community kind of was at in terms of AI design for driving vehicles, because I figured somebody before me has probably done it before and probably has released some code that I can kind of work off of and get an idea of exactly how they did it, so I can, you know, build upon that instead of starting completely from scratch. And I've watched quite a few YouTube videos trying to get an idea of where everybody is. And like, I don't know if you guys have scoured the interwebs of Roblox videos, but like the people with like the most insane intros with like the best music have like the shittiest mic. It's like Hello everyone, Yellow Mustang back again with another Roblox scripting tutorial. Today we're going to be making this print statement. So, doing my research here, I found the only open source one on YouTube was this.
I just took this example over here to show how the vehicle just moves around. You can just make like an AI system just like that. But you do have to mess around with the variables a little bit and get the variables that's good for the vehicle, because this vehicle is getting a kind of like an offset.
And I mean, yeah, that's okay. I mean, he's got the vehicle moving around. There isn't much AI logic to it. I mean, they're hitting the parts and they're turning. I think we can do something a little more advanced than that. I also found a clip here of somebody doing a more advanced system where it looks like it's turning based off of when it reaches a certain waypoint. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so looking at this one, I like this one a lot more because as you see it driving here, it's navigating to each waypoint, and I think we can easily recreate something like this with the Roblox pathfinding service, and it shouldn't be too hard. We just got to add a little bit more to this, but as I said, this isn't open source, so just based off of this is just an idea that I have, but all the code is going to be custom by me. So let's figure out what kind of vehicle we're going to use now. So I actually started out thinking I was going to create my own vehicle, thinking creating a suspension system would probably be pretty easy. It was not. So this is my suspension system that I've come up with here. As you can see, it's very realistic with my square wheels. It's kind of just floating. The wheels can collide equals false, or they can't collide, and it's constantly just setting the position up based off of ray casting off of the wheels. This was a huge failure, and I don't want to get hung up too much on designing the car itself. I really want to just use a pre-made car and just start working on the AI pathfinding itself. So let's look at the next model that I checked out here. So then, continuing on with my research here, I found this promising looking car in the free models. Basically, I just looked up police car, and I was driving this around, and I'm like, this looks amazing, right? This is like amazing suspension, pretty good driving experience. It doesn't reverse very well. I don't know why. I don't know how to reverse. Yeah, I don't know. Reverse doesn't work very well. But anyways, I was looking inside of this car here. Where is it? So I was looking inside of this car, and it turns out this is one of the A chassis cars, which is like one of the best suspension systems you can use, and it's very realistic. For my research, it's the best system on the market right now. I was looking at this, and I was looking at the events and everything, and I'm like, this is a lot of local scripts and a lot of stuff that I would have to convert to server side, and I really didn't want to dig through thousands of lines of code to get this car working. So I kept searching, and I was trying to find a more simple option. So after looking around in free models, I decided to actually check out these cars. And after driving this car around, it drives really well. And I was looking at the code for how this car works, and it's basically one server script to one local script, and I can easily convert that local script into a server-side script in which the AI can control this car fairly easily. I just got to change a few lines of code, and then I think I can get the AI working with this car. So I think this one's going to be good enough for now. We may change the car later on, but we're going to go ahead and just send it with this car. I'm going to change the code, and then I'll come back, and hopefully we can get this guy driving. Okay, so I've got the vehicle modified now to be all server side, and inputs to the vehicle seat from anywhere on the server should replicate, and our NPC should be able to control this vehicle without issue now. So now I'm going to go ahead and create a simple function to just search the workspace for the nearest vehicle seat. We're going to have our NPC walk over into the car, and then I just have it set so he goes full throttle and just turns right forever. So as you can see, that's working well. So now we just need to get the vehicle to turn the wheels based off of what point we're trying to get to. Okay, so I got two parts here in the workspace now. I've got one that is supposed to signify the front of the car here, and then this is going to be the waypoint that we're trying to drive to. What we need to do now is basically tell the car to turn left if it's over here, turn right over here, and then forward, and then how hard to turn the wheels. So basically we want to generate what angle this part is in relation to this one. So upon doing some research, I think I've found the best way of doing that. We're going to be using a Lua math function called a math.atan2. And basically we give it the x and z values of both of these parts here, and then it's going to generate us what angle this part is in relation to this one. So as you can see, it's at 0 right now. It seems to think the right side of the part is the front by default. We can fix that later. But you can see if we come to the left side of the theoretical front here, we get negative 39, positive 44. So it's generating an angle in relation to this one is what's important. If we go directly behind it, we'll get somewhere around 180, like negative 179.99. That's pretty close. And then if we go directly in front, we get 0. So we should be able to use these numbers to tell the car where to turn, basically based off of what angle we get back. But we have a couple of issues with this. We need to get sorted first. First off, we need to correct the front of the car. So in order to get from here to here, that should be just 90 degrees positive. So let's go ahead and edit the code, and we'll add 90 degrees to it. Okay, so I've made the changes in the code, and now you can see if we move our waypoint here in front of our pretend car, you can see we get a cool 0 degrees. If we come over to this side now, we get a cool 90, which is correct. So if we're at 90 degrees from the front, then we will be turning, making a hard right, essentially. And then if we come over to the other side, you can see the number is not correct anymore, and that's because we passed 180, and the code doesn't know to go to negative 180 if we pass 180, essentially. So what I'm going to do is simply detect if we go over 180, then switch to negative 180, and then just subtract from that so we can normalize the value again. So I'll modify the code once more, and I will be right back. Okay, so I believe I have it working 100% now. I just changed a couple values and normalized it, I believe. So now we have 0 in the front, 90 degrees directly to the right, and then negative 90 on the other side. And now we can easily know if we're going to be turning left or right, if the desired angle is positive or negative. So negative, we're going to be turning left. Positive, we're going to turn right. And then if the angle is above 90 or below negative 90, then we're going to have the car turn around, reverse, and then go forward towards the point because it's such a hard turn to make. So without further ado, we got one more thing we need to add to this, and then we should be good. So the car, unfortunately, is not going to be have a 0 rotation all the time. So right now, in the output, you can see this is at 90. This 90 degrees needs to be in relation to this part, even if it rotates. So if we rotate this part, you can see it's facing this way. This part is no longer at 90 degrees to this part. So we're going to need to simply add this part's rotation to our little formula there. Let me do that real quick, and we'll be right back. Okay, so now we should have our final product completely working here. So as you can see, it's negative 41. Now we can rotate this part as well. And now you can see it is now on the right side. So it's giving us a positive 29. And then over here, negative 40. And then 0 there. If we rotated it another 90 degrees, we should get the same result. So as you can see, we're directly in front of it, so it gives us a cool 0 there. If we go over to the right, we get our positive 50, and then over to the left, we get our negative 50. So this is working good. This is going to be determines how our car steers. So let's go ahead and apply this code to the car and test it out. Okay, so I've added that code to the AI, and now you can see I have the criminal set as the target position. So the figure is just driving forward continuously while turning towards the criminal. And once he gets there, he just tries to kill him, I guess, by running him over, but it doesn't work too well. But as you can see, this guy is driving fairly well. I mean, he gets around pretty good. I think the next thing we need to do... Oh, holy cow. Okay, well, I guess he's in a car now. Now he's not. Okay, but the next thing we need to do with this guy is, I think, have the figure generate a path now to follow in this vehicle. Because currently, as you can see, he's just driving straight there. So we're going to generate a path for this guy to follow, and then hopefully we can get him to drive around the buildings and such. So let's start working on that now. Alright, so we got the AI here now following a path generated, and he just follows each one of these points to get to the criminal. You know, it should keep generating paths. So I'll put the criminal way over there now. And you can see I have a little blue ball detecting what waypoint it's on. So I gave it, like, as long as it's within 5 studs of the bumper of the car, then just, you know, head to the next waypoint here. This is pretty good. I like it. It doesn't run into buildings anymore, and it can work its way over to the criminal. But you can see right away what's bothering me is it gets in this weird sway. It's like driving like a fish almost. It's like trying to turn and then correct the turn, and then it just swivels the whole way. I would like it to just drive, you know, smoothly straight in a line. And I believe it's because we have too many waypoints here. You can see with all of these waypoints, all the car needs to do is just drive in a straight line. The only thing we need to do with these waypoints really is just find out where the turns are in the path. So you see, right now we have 1,000,000 waypoints. Really, to get from that position to over here, it really only takes 2 waypoints because it's a straight line, so the car can just drive straight here with no issues. But if we put them behind a building, you can see what I'm talking about. So right here, we need to get this waypoint because that is obviously a turn. And then there is a slight turn around the building here also. So in order for him to get from here to here, all we needed was three waypoints, I believe, 3 or 4. So I'm going to try and write a function here that identifies the corners of this path, and then we're only going to have the car drive to the corners so that way we don't get that swaying effect. Okay, so I ended up creating a function called find turns here, and pretty much find turns is going to loop through our vehicle's path, and it's going to check our current waypoint against the X and Z position of the next waypoint, and then if the X and Z value has a bigger change than the previous pair that's greater than half a stud, then we're going to declare that as a turn. So basically this is going to determine if it's a straight line or not, and if it's not a straight line, then it's going to add it to our table of important waypoints, and then our important waypoints is going to be returned back to the NPC, and then that NPC will just drive to those waypoints in particular. So now you can see we have large red dots here signifying where the turns are. So you can see there's one, here's one, and then at the end of the path I always include a endpoint as well. So if we move this criminal now you can see the path will tell us where the important parts are to go. So you can see this works pretty much 100% of the time. I've never seen it fail finding a turn, so this is good. So the next step, all we got to do is just change it from going to these individual points to skipping to the important turn points, essentially. So let's modify the code, and then I will be right back. Okay, gamers, the code has been modified, and now we should have a much smoother driving experience. So let's watch this car drive perfectly with no sway directly all the way across the map pretty much to the criminal. As you can see, some of the waypoints are kind of get buried sometimes. I don't know. Pathfinding is weird with terrain. It's really nothing I can do about it unless I create my own A-star pathfinding system, which I probably will in the future eventually, but not today. But doing this, it seems like it's working perfectly to me. So let's see if we can find another path here. So you can see he's going to drive to this turn, make that turn, drive over here, miss that. Okay. I've never seen it fail. Okay, so I believe I got that bug solved. I changed the sensitivity from half a stud to 0.2 studs, or I guess that would be one fifth of a stud. Now it is recognizing every turn. If I see it missing a turn again, I will probably lower it once more, and I will just kind of fine tune it. But as of right now, it seems it's getting to where it needs to go pretty well. I've been playing around with this guy for about 10 minutes now, and I haven't had an issue since. So we're gonna call this portion of the script good now. So the next thing we need to work on is finding people that are inside. So let me show you what I mean. So I got the game reset here, and we got the criminal inside this time because a lot of the time, you know, you're gonna have NPCs inside of buildings and places that cars can't go. So the way we have it right now is our NPC is going to try to get in the car, and it's trying to generate a path to the criminal there, but Roblox is failing the path right now because it sees that the vehicle is too big to fit through this door, is my theory behind it. But when Roblox fails to generate a path, you don't get like a partial path to the criminal here. You get absolutely nothing back. So my solution for this is we're going to simulate the figure walking there, because I know the figure can make it from here to inside this bank essentially. So we're going to have the figure generate his walking path, and then we're going to test. Okay, I think it'll be easier if I draw this out for you guys. So we got our NPC driver here. He's in his car, of course. And then we got the bank over here, and we got the criminal inside. So generating the path with the vehicle parameters, like I've been doing, is not going to give us a path because the vehicle is too wide to fit through the doorway. So Roblox is going to give us no path for using the vehicle. But we can generate a path using the figure, or the driver's default parameters, which is much smaller. So he'll be able to fit through that doorway and get to the criminal. So we generate this path here, and we get a bunch of waypoints, and it tells us to go inside and go straight to the criminal. So we need to determine how much of this path is usable by the car, essentially. So we're going to start at like 3/4 of the path, which would be about here, and then we're going to try to create a vehicle path there using the vehicle parameters, you know, how wide it is, how it can't jump and everything. And then if this returns true, then we know we can drive this portion of the path and then stop here. The AI driver can get out and then go get the criminal, essentially, because this is going to be like a police officer showing up to a bank robbery or something, I guess, in this case. So that is the idea behind the next function we're going to develop. So I'm going to write that out and then throw it in game, and let's see what we get. Okay, so now with that change, he can now find this point right outside the building to park his car, and then he'll be able to go inside and actually, I guess, catch the criminal. So that's all fine and dandy. Now I guess we just got to add some more logic and make him actually attack the criminal. Before that, I suppose I should make this guy look more like a police officer, and I'll change the vehicle a bit too, so I'll get to work. Alright, so I've made some changes now to our figure. He is now named Police, and I basically copied the appearance from my police AI video. So this is basically the same guy, and I've modified the Jeep a little bit too to be black, like police style, and I gave us some light effects too, so now when he hops in, we should get a nice little siren effect. And let's see here. Alright, and there we go, boom. Mr. Police Officer's to the bank robbery. He gets out, shuts off the siren, and then goes inside. I don't have an attacking animation for him yet, so I just have him doing damage when he's close enough, which is good enough for now, I suppose. This guy's looking pretty good now. I think the next thing we need to do is see what happens when we add a couple more of these guys in the game, and let's add a couple more criminals and see how they behave. Okay, so I've got a question for you guys. Who's gonna win? An entire army of police officers, or a couple of criminals that just stand there and don't do anything? My bet's on the police officers. I don't know about you guys, but let's run this and see how our police officers do. And you can it sounds like Grand Theft Auto, honestly. Like, it's like 5 stars right here. And you can see all the police are getting out of their cars and coming inside the bank, you know. Some a little bit slower than others, but, you know, you get the point. They all bring their cars over to the criminals. And, yeah, I'm really happy with how these guys are performing. I think, to wrap this video up, I just got to add batons to them, and then they should be pretty much good to go. So let's add the baton, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got the baton added to the police officer. Now you can see it's attached to his hip when he's not using it. As you can see now, the police officer is calm and not killing everybody, because I have added a new crime system. So only only NPCs that are tagged as a criminal are going to be targeted by the police officers. So currently I have not done anything wrong for the police to be mad at me, but I have this sword here, and I have it so if I do damage to any humanoid with this sword, then I'm marked as a criminal, because I'm stabbing people's against the law. So let's go ahead and stab this figure and see what happens here. So you can see as soon as I stab him, the police get pissed, and you know he's gonna come over here and hit me with the baton. But yeah, you see he's very graceful getting out of the car too. So, and here we go, police crime system added. So that's pretty good. Okay, so I think it's about time I start wrapping this video up here. We're going on about 25 minutes now, so the police are working pretty good. I would like to eventually add a gun to these guys instead of just using the baton, but I think we've run out of time for today, and I'm pretty sick of hearing police sirens and looking at blue jackets. So I've been working on this for way too long now. So if this video gets like 300 likes, then I'll probably revisit it and I'll add some more stuff to the police, because there's a lot more stuff I can do with it. I'll add a gun, a taser, I'll allow them to make arrests instead of just killing people. There's a lot more I can do with the video, or do with the police officers. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and I think I got a little bonus for you guys too, so stay tuned. So as a bonus for you guys, a lot of people have been asking me for over a year, like the driver NPC, they've been asking me, Yellow Mustang, where is the helicopter AI that you worked on? Or I don't even think I made an official announcement. I briefly mentioned it in a video that I was probably going to start working on this, and it appeared in another video. But I don't know how so many people found out about this helicopter and got so hyped over it. But I haven't touched this thing in a while. I ran it a minute ago and I fixed some bugs, so it actually kind of works now. But there's still a lot wrong with this helicopter. It takes off okay, and I don't know where it's going. Jesus. Okay, so I put some targets closer to it now, and now it seems to be wanting to do its job, but I have... Okay, yeah, there's more errors. But this helicopter is very broken. I remember I was in the middle of trying to get it to turn properly and actually look like it's flying. I have no idea why it just flies away off into the sunset forever for no reason, so I might start working on this project again. It's interesting. I think it would be fun if I could get this helicopter working. It's definitely... I think I can probably make a pretty decent helicopter AI now. When I actually started programming this, I was looking at the code, and the code is very bad, of course, because every time I return to one of my old projects, I realize the code is just absolute trash. So I'm probably going to have to recode a lot of it. I cannot figure out why this guy just keeps flying off into the sunset. I really want to show you guys that he does, in fact, attack targets when he feels like it. So I got this blue line signifying that he's attacking that guy, and he's got like some missiles and stuff that he uses to attack. I guess I don't have it switching targets very well. Oh, it did. Okay. This is better than what it was doing before, and now I think it's just going to leave. No, it's turning around. Okay, great. As you can see, there's a lot of green beams in front of him. That's his sight that I programmed. It's just ray casting, and then I visualized it with some trails or something like that. I forget exactly what I did, but this is exactly what the helicopter is seeing, essentially. So it turns based off of whatever it comes in contact with. But I just wanted to give you guys a status update on the helicopter and build some more some more unneeded hype, I guess. But maybe I'll get this helicopter out to you guys eventually. We'll see. Let me know if you guys would like me to finish this project in the comments. That's going to conclude this video officially now. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.